Everybody over here, everybody over there. I'm the K, I'm the P, I'm the MIC. My real name is Michael Horn. I'm also known as the Scorpion Kid. And I need to tell you all this. I'm currently taking legal assistance 336 immigration law at ARC. The time is near, the time is now to tell you all about my presentation. For this class, I am utilizing my ADHD created ability to turn the relief for domestic violence and crime into a rap music video. And I will be presenting all of this in the midst of the night. The time is near and the time is now to present the definition that comes out of it, to present the definition that comes out of it. Human trafficking is a modern day of slavery, such as migrant worker, sex shop, sex trade, and domestic servitude. That workers in these trades doesn't get any pay, no pay at all. And they also work with no days off at all. They also get no breaks at all. Between the long hours, they also get no breaks at all between the short hours. And if any of these workers stop for any reason at all, he or she will get severely punished, such as tortured or raped. Crime victim is any victim of any type of crime. It doesn't matter what the crime may be. No, it doesn't matter at all. And I won't stop my chatter, because it really doesn't matter what the crime may be. No, it doesn't matter at all. It could be only petty, or it could be really severe, which will turn into a felony. But you all don't even know it, but the wounds really show it. Domestic violence is when a wife, husband, boyfriend, or girlfriend starts to be physical to one another. Or it could be one of these, raping another after he or she tells the other person no, but he or she did it anyways. Another part of domestic violence is when a child sees a mother, father, boyfriend, a father's girlfriend, a mother's girlfriend, or a father's boyfriend beat or rape each other after he or she told him no, but he or she did it anyways. Like in my case, when I was 3 years old, I witnessed my biological mother's boyfriend rape my 5-year-old biological sister after she told him no, but he did it anyways. So I ran up to him, trying to be a hero, a superhero, taking crime and violence out to zero, by trying to put a stop to his abusive ways. I was trying to prevent my sister being raped. Me living with ADHD, blessed with the martial arts ability, robotics, mechanical engineering, and a real-life MacGyver abilities since I was 3, which I could get an empty coffee can and put flour or sugar into it, and then I could put a candle wick into it and put it in the microwave, while utilizing the microwave as a detonator, which I could protected and defended my 5-year-old sister from being raped victim. I failed, I totally failed. I wasn't given these abilities, these amazing abilities, so I could protect my loved ones from being a victim, I was given these abilities, abilities, so I could protect my loved ones, from being a victim, but I failed. I totally failed in protecting my loved one, which is totally no fun, no fun at all. So I blame it on myself that my 5-year-old sister got raped. Since I'm her brother, or 3-year-old brother at that time, it was my job to protect her, but I failed. I totally failed at it. But I wish I could have done something more, done something more. I wish I could have done something more, done something more. I wish I could have done something more, done something more. But I don't have no clue at all. I don't have no clue at all. I don't have no clue at all. What it could have been, what it could have been. But I wish I did. Also, when I was 3.5, I witnessed my biological mother getting beaten by her ex-boyfriend. So I ran up to him, trying to be a hero, a superhero, taking crime and violence down to zero, by trying to put a stop to his abusive ways. Me living with ADHD, blessed with the martial arts ability, robotics, mechanical engineering, and a real-life MacGyver abilities since I was 3, which I could get an empty coffee can and put flour or sugar into it, and then I could put a candle wick into it and put it in the microwave, while utilizing the microwave as a detonator. Then I could have protected my biological mother from being beaten, protected and defending my biological mother from being beaten, protect my biological mother from being beaten. I failed, but I failed. I totally failed. I wasn't given these abilities, these amazing abilities, so I could protect my loved ones from being a victim, I was given these abilities, so I could protect my loved ones, from being a victim, but I failed. I totally failed in protecting my loved one, which is totally no fun, no fun at all. So I blame it on myself, that my biological mother was beaten, that my biological mother was beaten, that my biological mother was beaten, but yeah, I couldn't protect her because that's the reason I blame it on myself, because being the male in my family, since her boyfriend wasn't going to protect her, it's her son, destiny, it's her son, family legacy to protect her, but I failed at it, and that's no fun at all. But I wish I could have done something more, I wish I could have done something more, I wish I could have done something more, but I don't have no clue at all. I don't have no clue at all. What it could have been, but I wish I did. Also, when I was 3.5, my biological mother, ex-boyfriend, threw me against the wall, like a football, and my head slammed against it, and I fell to the ground, and my back slammed against the ground, very, very hard, damaging my spinal cord. Also, when I was 3.5, my biological mother, ex-boyfriend, was driving the car, and he tried to go over the Antioch Bridge and to the Sacramento River right below, with me, my biological mother, and my biological 2 sisters inside of it, and my cousins and aunts and uncles was also in it, and so was all my grandmother. But my biological mother grabbed the steering wheel and turned it the other way, saving our lives. And this is my story, this is mine, and this is my story, this is mine, and this is my story, and this is my story of how I overcame it, how I overcame it, how I overcame overcame it, how I overcame it, despite my ADHD, despite my other learning disability, despite my abusive past. I never turned to drugs, never turned to gangs, never turned to crime, and never want to live that life. No, I didn't want to live that life. I never became the abuser. I never became a drug addict, never became a criminal, but yet I did just quite the opposite. I became a hero, a mighty superhero, taking crime and violence down to zero by studying law and the legal biz, so I could defend abuse victims in the court of law, while utilizing my gifts and my ADHD to help others and advocate for people who can advocate for themselves. And not just that, when I was 11-year-old, I witnessed a 10-year-old about to be raped by 10 boys in my elementary school, and I ran and fought them off. I actually fought them off, and they ran away, and I prevented her from being raped. And as you can see, I'm a real life superhero. I'm a hero, a real life superhero, taking crime and violence down to zero. I'm a hero, a mighty superhero, taking crime and violence down to zero. I also uncover a government conspiracy, uncover a government cover-up in San Diego County Jail in 2017. Despite not having a law degree, and despite my ADHD and other learning disability, I also had a second job interview with the United States Department of Homeland Security in 2017, and Paul Henderson, a former civil rights attorney, current director of police accountability, and another former civil rights attorney, reckoned me that I could ace the bar exam without even going to law school. Without going to law school. And also, I was on the ballot, on the Corn County ballot, and for the Bakersfield City School District trustee area for in 2018, and I won and got elected to the Bakersfield City School District trustee area for. I also received my associate teacher in ECE in 2012. So as you can see, I decided to use my gifts, use my strengths to actually help others to put a stop and prevent for future abuse, because I didn't want it to be part of the system. No, I wanted to go against it. And as you can see, this inspire all of you to overcome it too. To not turn to the path of drugs, not turn to the path of crime, to not turn to become abuser, but yet put a stop to it. Because you could choose two paths to take. You could be a hero, a mighty superhero, taking crime and violence down to zero, and put a stop to the cycle of abuse. Or you could be part of the statistic, and I didn't want to be part of the statistic, and I wanted to go against it. And this will teach other people who walked in my walk, talked in my talk, and been in my shoes to go against it too. Domestic violence and child abuse come in many forms, and they are crimes such as these: physical abuse, psychological abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, abandonment, malnutrition, sexual abuse, and neglect. Physical abuse is defined as any physical injury, any physical injury that is afflicted on a spouse, child, or another person without an accidental means. Psychological abuse is defined as the range and deliberate words and non-physical action with the purpose to manipulate, hurt, weaken, or frighten a person's mental and emotionally. For this reason, psychological abuse, emotional abuse, and verbal abuse happen simultaneously. Verbal abuse, also known as emotional abuse, is the purpose of and the pattern of words and range of words and behavior used to manipulate, intimidate, and maintain power and control over someone else. Emotional abuse is a way to control another person, using your emotion to criticize, embarrass, shame, blame, or otherwise manipulate another person, Emotionally abusive when there is signs and instances of pattern, words, and bully behavior. Where it wears down a person's self-esteem. For this example, since the age of 6 years old, until I moved into the group, for my adopted uncle constantly doubted me, by constantly saying to me, Michael, you will never be able to be a good singer. Michael, you will never be able to be a good teacher. Michael, you will never be a good rapper. Michael, you will never be a good attorney. And he says other words of discouragement to me. Because of my ADHD and one of the negatives downfall of it. More specifically, the insecurities that comes with ADHD. My confidence fell and I stopped believing in myself. But my adopted mother, Stella Iris Horn, who was known to be a legally blind civil rights attorney, the United States District Federal Attorney, legally blind, special education preschool teacher, professional bowlers in the League of the Blind, lieutenant in the neighborhood watch. And she was also an expert at needlepoint, despite her disability. And despite what she'd been through, she told me her story, how her uncle told her the same words of discouragement that my uncle says to me, And just like I was discouraged and my confidence fell, and I stopped believing in myself by what my uncle said to me, My adopted mother was also discouraged and her confidence fell, and she stopped believing in herself after what her uncle told her, But her mother, who was also known to be a legally blind civil rights attorney, United States Federal Attorney, preschool teacher specialized in special ed, lieutenant in the neighborhood watch, professional bowler for the League of the Blind, and an expert in needlepoint, told her story and how she overcame the same type of abuse that she endured, and despite her disability, and despite what she went through to help my adopted mother, and inspire my adopted overcome the self-doubt and overcome her disability. And after my adopted mother's story, it inspired me to overcome my disability and overcome my self-doubt and overcome my tragic past. Her story alone inspired me to overcome my ADHD, inspired me to overcome my learning disability, inspired me to overcome the self-doubt, it inspired me to overcome my tragic past. For this reason, my tragic past combined with my adopted mother's story gave me the courage to stand and fight back in the court of law, to defend our constitutional rights, defend our human rights, defend abuse victims in the court of law, to become a criminal prosecutor, to put the abuser and any government official on the other side of the prison walls for violating the oath they took and for committing crimes such as abuse he or she has done, and put a stop to it, and become a preschool teacher so I could spot signs of abuse and put it into it before it goes any further, and put it into it before it goes any further, So as you can see, I'm a real life superhero, taking crime and violence down to zero. I'm a hero, a mighty superhero, taking crime and violence down to zero, zero. I'm a hero, a superhero, taking crime and violence down to zero, down to zero. I'm a hero, a superhero, taking crime and violence down to zero, zero. I'm a superhero, taking crime and violence down to zero, down to zero. And with my creative mind, my ADHD creative mind, combined with my natural ability to see connections other people miss, I could detect, analyze, and decipher laws in my brain between what's constitutional versus what's unconstitutional. What is considered human rights violation between to what actually human rights non-violation. And as you can see, I can use that ability to put judges, cops, law enforcement, politicians, business owners on the other side of the prison walls to put into their injustice shower, because I was blessed with a brainiac power to put into your injustice shower. And I'm not afraid to use it against the government and business owners who try to abuse it. So as you can see, I'm a real life superhero, taking crime and violence down to zero, down to zero. Furthermore, my adopted father constantly called me a liar, constantly called me a liar after I tried to show him evidence. I was not lying and evidence. I never told a lie in my life, never told a lie in my life, but he was not willing to look at it at all. I was also had witness that would have testified to him that I was not lying, and witness who would testify to him. I never told a lie in my life, but he was not willing to hear them out, for crying out loud. Because my adopted father was not willing to listen to my words and not willing to listen to my thoughts, he violated my First Amendment right, freedom of speech. More specifically, right to listen to other words and right to listen to other thoughts, and the right to speak about anything. Listen to Rosa Parks' case in 1955. In Rosa Parks' case in 1955, the bus driver refused to listen to Rosa Parks' words and listen to Rosa Parks' thoughts. So Rosa Parks was arrested, tried, convicted, and sentenced to jail time for violation the segregation on the bus laws, which she was trying to put a stop to. People need to understand and comprehend the importance of listening to other words and listen to other thoughts, and they are reasons such as these. One could prevent a civil rights lawsuit, like in Rosa Parks' case in 1955. One could save another person's life. One could inspire hope to others who doesn't have hope. One could prevent a criminal charge, could prevent a crime, and one could tell how high intelligent a person is just by listening to another person's words and thoughts, and how they articulate their words and thoughts. Because by looking at me, and knowing I live with ADHD and a learning disability, one could never expect I could cite by memory legal terminology, cite by memory case law, cite by memory legal documentation, cite by memory forensic science terminology, cite by memory the Miranda rights, and cite by memory all the 27th Amendments of the Constitution of the USA, and have the ability to write up, type up, and perform a rap called the question block rap, which takes what the attorney would ask the witness who is in the witness box testifying in the court of law, and put it into a rap form called the question block rap. Oh, how about that? And if you don't believe me, just wait and see. If you don't believe me, just wait and see.